Yo, yo, yo. Roll back. Peace. So, last shadow, we were building on the power of intention. And I got a really good question from someone in the comments uh, about 10, 20 minutes ago. And they were asking, how does one intensify intention and speed it up? Like, speed up the process to get closer to the thing that you intend to get to quicker. And I thought this was an excellent question, so I wanted to build on this shadow and kind of expound on what I meant. So first things first, round robin music video is out now. If you're not subscribed and you popping in, make sure you subscribe and check out the music video. That's the first, yeah, first single off the Mileage album that will be coming soon this month. I also have a movie that's going to be coming along with that album too, talking a lot about my story, my life, the things that got me to where I am today, where I'm headed, all that kind of good stuff. So that's going to be coming very, very soon. But yeah, you can check out that music video. And for all my previous works, because I seem to have either pissed somebody off either on with my distributor, one of my distributors, or one of the streaming platforms for being on their ass, for being scumbags. So, with that in mind, all my entire music catalog is available online for purchase on samurai blackmusic.com. So you can hit the link in the description. Most recent album release, Soul Rising, still in effect. Beautiful, powerful body of work. 22 artists um, singing, rapping, spoken word. Got some speeches and things in there. It's a very good, powerful body of work that has this interesting healing energy, right? Because that was the intention put in it. Bonjour, what's up, Canadian, my friend? So, all right, so to the brother, I think his name was MP, that was asking about how to intensify the power of intention and how to move faster, basically speed it up to where you get to your objective that you're setting faster. I'm outside. The only light we got is the moon. So I think this is a really good question on on in, intensifying intention. So I was talking a little bit last shadow about like when you look at people like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or like any of these like business visionaries, these people who get these astronomical results. Elon Musk being like a fucking trillionaire, Steve Jobs creating a company that literally changed the entire trajectory of the world to where everybody has an iPhone for the most part. It's either iPhone or Android. Or even if you look at people like, I would actually say, especially this, because it's not just like a monetary or business thing, right? So you look at people like Dr. Malachi Z. York, for example. He wrote 1,200 books. Several hundred of those was while he's been incarcerated in the Colorado ADX prison, the highest security prison in the U.S., and he's still finding and taking the time to teach people while he's in there. Like that and all the other works he did is astronomical. For a lot of this stuff, if you reverse engineer it, thanks, brother, I appreciate it. Yes, I'm addressing your question actually, MP. Glad you're here. So a lot of the things that you see, like any of these kind of like astronomical accomplishments, if you reverse engineer it, you'll find that the individual at the center of it has a very, very powerful intention. And I was mentioning last shadow how it gives them the ability to, when they say a thing, they know that that thing is coming true and it causes it to come to fruition. So we talked a little bit about how thoughts occur in what's called the fourth density, right? You can do your research on this. You don't got to believe me. Go check it out. And basically, thoughts. are things. Thoughts have forms, and thoughts can be measured, right? So as you continue to exercise this thought, you continue to, you know, culminate and ruminate on this particular idea that you have your intention on. It gives you the ability to strengthen it to where you'll start seeing points of action. You'll start seeing ideas come along that are kind of like supporting ideas, as I like to think of it, that will push you closer to that main objective in your intention, right? And I gave the analogy of how the the core thought, the core idea, the core intention, it starts to get stronger. It starts to resonate heavier. It's almost like it sprouts legs and sprouts arms and it goes to the gym and it starts lifting and it gets swole. And then it starts running towards your objective. And as it starts running, if you could imagine, it's almost like, okay, this isn't happening on the material realm, right? It's happening in the unseen. So as it starts running, it's almost like space time will warp around it. If you've ever seen like a visual depiction of like planets moving through space or like a black hole in space, it will warp space time around it, right? To where other things start to collapse towards it. So you'll start to have these other supporting ideas, they'll start coming to you faster and faster. Now, the key in this is to actually take action on the ideas. And I think this is the thing that a lot of us have trouble with, myself included. So when you take action on the ideas, what a lot of people don't realize if they're the type to, just continuously plan and plan and plan and plan and not actually take action on it, what they don't realize is you'll start having insights pop up to you while you're doing the thing. You'll learn the most from doing the thing. That's how you come to know things anyway, from experience. That's the first pillar of knowing, first pillar of knowledge. The other two being evidence and reason, right? And by the way, this science was broken down by Dr. Malachi Z. York in his scroll. I think it's scroll number one. What is Nuwapu? I was just reading it a couple weeks ago. But this is something I've been studying for years. And if you study any major thinker of the last 200 years, from Napoleon Hill to Wallace D. Wattles to Neville Goddard, even up to the more contemporary ones like Bob Proctor, et cetera, they all say this in different words, but they all talk about the same thing. So, how do you intensify this, right? How do you intensify this intention? Well, I said I kind of gave a hint to part of it, and that's by actually doing the actions. The ideas, the little supporting ideas that pop up that they might not even seem like a big deal, right? And I'll give some examples in a moment, but it may seem like, okay, this isn't really going to get me to that objective. Let's say it's a monetary goal. This isn't going to make me $1 million tomorrow, or this isn't going to, build me a strong brand and be able to swing influence tomorrow. I'm not going to get 1 million followers off of this or supporters, or this is whatever your objective is. Like there's a million different things to it. It might just be something as simple as like, okay, I want to write a book, right? And as you kind of sit and you start coming up with the ideas of it, of okay, I want to write this book about this particular topic, you sit down, maybe you got a notepad, you start jotting some stuff down, and you're like, maybe I should come up with an outline first. But no, because I want to spend some time on character development. Or no, I want to spend some time world building and designing the world that is this book, this story is actually going to be in, right? And oftentimes what people do is they'll kind of bounce back and forth between a bunch of things. Again, myself included. I'm not saying like I'm like a super master with these things. I'm really going off observations of things that I've experienced in my life and things that I've studied from other people to come to some things I've come to know, but some things I'm still very much a student with. I'm just spy my observations, right? So you're drafting up this book, you get the idea to outline it. You know, I don't want to do that. Not right now. That doesn't seem very fun, right? Whereas, let's say in another alternate reality, you decide to go ahead and start outlining it immediately when the idea pops in your head. Okay, well in that case, you have it drafted, And then as you're outlining, the ideas for the characters start popping into your head and it becomes more clear, right? The environments that you want the characters to go through, it becomes more clear. And then it gets to where you get closer and closer to that objective. By the time you're finished with that outline, you might find yourself in a space to where you you're ready to go ahead and start writing. You're ready to start with chapter one, right? So it speeds up that process of what your intention is directed towards. I hope that makes sense. So let me give a more direct example. This is something I experienced within the last 24 to 72 hours. So I discovered something that I'm not gonna get into super duper detail on it, but I discovered something um, that I can utilize some tools that I have to create something that will be useful to a lot of brands and a lot of businesses. I figured it out. I tested it in the field. It went stellar. It, got tons of engagement, all these kind of things. And I noticed that there's no one doing it. But I've been in marketing and I've been in, sales and all these things. I've been studying in the field for 10, 15 years at this point to where I can tell when something's going to hit next. And this is one of those things. So I have been talking with my team over the last 6 months or so about how we're going to shift to from just being service-based business to start creating products and distributing these products to people who are in need of it so they can do certain things themselves. And as I as I kind of gone along this process over the last several months, I kind of been racking my brain like, okay, what product do I actually want to sell? Like, what do I actually want to put out to the market? Because I know how to build it. I know how to build a store. I know how to build, all the things that I need to market the product. But I don't really want to push the same shit everyone else is pushing, you know? Like, I don't, I, that doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to just copy and paste some formula that somebody else put together and just put it out there and pretend like I came up with it. Like that doesn't entice me, and I know I won't perform well if I do that. So as I came up with this idea, I don't know, like 72 hours ago, and then I put it out in the market, or I tested it in the market in the field the next day, and then from there I saw the results. I saw it works, and I saw that no one else is using it. But I see that it's appealing enough, and it's getting enough engagement and attention that it's something that can be utilized as a vehicle by many brands and businesses. Okay, well now I got the idea. Okay, let me go ahead and put this to market. So that core intention I had of shifting my business from just only service-based stuff to actually creating products and stuff like that, that core intention I've been holding. I've been playing and testing and doing all these other things kind of around it. I've looked at, different payment processors and looked at different ways to package it. And, I went ahead and figured out how to build my own website to where, I mean, I've already been building websites for years, but figured out how to build it to where it's miles ahead of most people's. And I don't need to use no platform like no WAP or school.com or any of that shit. Like I can do it myself. Okay, cool. So I can build it and host it myself. I can control all of the data. And I actually have something that I'm excited about because I see this is working and I want I want more people to see this. I want more people to be able to utilize this. Okay, well now my intention has been met with an idea that supports it. So now I went ahead and made the product. I made a course. So I filmed the course earlier today. Took me about an hour and change. I still got to do some editing and all that kind of stuff, but that's light work for me. And this put me in a position to where, like, when I really sat back and looked at it, I'm like, damn, this is what I've been wanting to do this whole time. Like, this whole time when I've been saying I want to shift away from just doing service-based business and go ahead and, you know, create a product and scale that up. Okay, cool. Now I'm in position. So now I'm excited again. I haven't felt this level of excitement about business in a in a little minute. And I don't just get excited about money. For those who know me, you know. I don't. If it was just about money, I would have been sitting on billions of dollars a long time ago. I've rubbed shoulders with billionaires. I've had multimillionaire friends for years. Like it's not about that, and they know that. But I harness and garner respect from these individuals because they know, one, I know what the fuck I'm doing and what I'm talking about, and two, they know that I'm outcome and objective driven. I'm What drives me is actually being able to create something that is beneficial to the world, is beneficial to people, something that can actually be helpful, something that's actually putting good into the world. It's the same thing when it comes to my music. I could have switched up and, man, if I tell y'all how many times these people, these labels and shit like that, have tried positioning offers in front of me, offering millions and millions of dollars and saying, you just got to do this, just come here to meet us. And I told them, go fuck yourself. Uh, you have no idea. That doesn't entice me though. You know what I mean? It's not something that I enjoy because I know that the way that they're aligned, they're just gonna push out whatever kind of poison is already out there. They're just gonna push out whatever bullshit is out there. And I've suffered consequences for that, but I'm okay with that. I'll stand on that because I want to put something a little bit more righteous out there. I want to put something a little bit more real. I want to put something out there that has a little bit more heart to it. I want to put something out there that will bring people out of a depressive pit and will make them get up and start doing things. Go and hug a loved one. And I've this whole journey, like I've been rapping for like probably about as long as I've been in marketing and business. So about, I don't know, like 15 years at this point. Every time I get a message from somebody or a comment from somebody or something that affected, like there was this woman who commented and she was like, hey, your song Seminole is my anthem. I just lost my son to a fentanyl overdose. I play this song every day to get me charged up. Or I'll talk to an old friend from school and I didn't even know that they were still paying attention to what I was doing. And they'll say things like, every time I get depressed, I play your music and then I get right. I feel better. It charges me up. Right? That's what it's about. So I carry that same intention. See how I'm still on the point? I carry that same intention through everything I do. I carry that intention through my businesses and the people I operate with. There's some people who I refuse to do business with, regardless of how much money they have or they're offering me, because it doesn't align with my intention. I care. I put that same care into how I treat my friends and family. Everything. All right. Any questions? Great example. It clicked for me now. Thank you. Absolutely. My pleasure. What's my Instagram? My Instagram is at I'm Samurai Black. So if you hit subscribe and go to my channel page, my Instagram should be linked in the links on my channel. But it's at I'm Samurai Black. I can't type it in the chat on YouTube, but yeah, it's same name that's on here. Just I am in front of it. Feel free to shoot me. You could add me, follow me, you can shoot me a DM or whatever. I'm happy to connect with like-minded people. Yep, yep. Any other questions? So we talked about how to intensify intention, and again, like I have to stress this: I'm not coming in and presenting myself as like I'm the master of intention and I've done everything that I've set out to do. No, I'm not. But I have utilized my intention to get myself out of some very, very difficult situations. I've used my intention to save my life, save other people's lives. I've used my intention to build things from nothing, whether it's audience or businesses or relationships or whatever. So the power of intention is real. It's really like a universal skill. It's like a weapon that everyone has access to, but most people don't use the shit. Not at all. Most people don't. So if you are listening here, I would strongly encourage you to, when you take a moment to yourself and it's you're just you in a room or something like that and it's quiet, grab a notepad and a pen and write down, what do you want to do? What do you want to create? What do you want to be? What is the person that you want to become? Right? And this is kind of a little cheat code. I didn't come up with this, but it's a cheat code I pulled from people like Bob Proctor and Napoleon Hill. Write it in present tense and write it as if you are already that person, as if you are already doing that thing, and write it in such a way as follows. I am so happy and grateful that now that I blank 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 fill in the blank, right? So if you want to have a $1 million business, if money's the metric, there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have $1 million blank 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 business, right? You want to get as detailed as possible, right? If you want to write a book, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have written and released a best-selling novel or a best-selling, book in this self-help, whatever your thing is, right? I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a happy, beautiful relationship with my family, with my mother, or whatever. Maybe you got a friend or something like that, or a family member who, maybe there's been a little friction with historically. Okay, you can write that in the other direction. You have the pen. You could use that pen to rewrite your entire life. You can write the fucking script. It's yours. This is your story. This is your life. It's time for people to stop sitting and just only living vicariously through other people and actually stand up and realize that you have an entire life to live as well. If you look at movies like um what's that shit? Like Ready Player One or The Feed or all these movies that show like this, probably Black Mirror too. All these movies and series that show like these dystopian um, futures of just people just sitting there and they're just trapped in VR worlds and they're just sitting in a room and they're not really doing anything to take care of themselves or the world around them is in shambles. Like, don't get it twisted. There's beings out there that want that to be the case, but is that what you want? No, I don't think so. I doubt it. You probably want to go out and do something. And yes, you can use these tools, just like right now I'm using this to communicate with you. You could use these tools to connect with people and to spread and distribute your ideas, but you got to start from that idea in the first place. You got to start from your own thoughts and expand them outward. You may have to take the pen and pick the pen up a few times and refine it. You might have to go on voice notes and just kind of spit, and just say the things that you have in your mind just to express it so you can get it more clear. I do that all the time. You can ask my wife. I do that. I'll be talking to myself on voice notes for 20, 30 minutes, multiple times a day, just to hash out my thoughts because sometimes that's necessary. Maybe you want to get on video and you talk about it. Maybe you want to put it out to the world. Maybe you just want to keep it to yourself. Whatever means is necessary. You got to, everyone would, it would serve everyone well if everyone that is a normal, good intentioned human being would step the fuck out of their own way, get up, and do something. Set your intentions. Decide what you want to do. Write down that dream, that future version of yourself, but write it in present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that I blank, blank, blank. And then start jotting down what comes to mind for you as far as ideas that could lead to a plan of action, and then just start taking action on shit. Man, I'm telling y'all this, and it's only a couple of y'all left in here. But if this shit wasn't real, I would have been dead in like 2017. It wouldn't have worked. I would have died in the streets. I know this. I've been I've been surrounded by 100 people with guns multiple times and didn't get touched. I know the power of intention. This shit works. So set your intention, decide what you want to do, what you want to build, and go do it. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Round Robin music video is out now. Mileage, the album, is coming out this year. And also going to be dropping a movie along with it. Make sure you stay tuned. Hadus I Should, or I Shook. That's Divine Love.